up this morning and found that the coach was getting colder and colder. And I noticed that the inside of the coach via my Govee wireless temperature monitor was reading 55.7 degrees. And I have my Truma heater set at 65 degrees. So I went to my Truma heater just to see what's going on. And you can see that it has an error code E6H. And I cannot get rid of it. So let's see what the troubleshooting guide says and I'll get back to you. All right, I'm going to do some tests after getting home here with my coach and finding out that it's not heating and I got that code. So let's go ahead and switch over to propane, because I'm sure people will ask, did you use the gas instead of electric? So now I'm on gas. My fan, once I put the coach temperature up, and let's see if it kicks on. One thing I have to do is put on the LP tank. And now I'll press 65 and let's see what happens. I hear the fan coming on. And we got the E6H, even with propane. So we'll go ahead and shut that off. The next test I'm going to do is see if it will heat my water in that Truma. So I'm on boost. And I'm gonna go electric. And let's see if my electric water heater will work on the Truma, even though my furnace doesn't work. And there you go. Even on the water heater, I'm getting the E6H fault. So it does affect both the furnace and the water heater on the Truma. Well, the next test that we're going to be doing here in the coach is seeing what happens when you lose your Truma heater and water heater while you're camping with shore power and there's no heat. We were camping over the weekend and that's what happened to me. We lost heat and we did not have a plan B or a backup system. So welcome to our plan B. It's a Drio ceramic heater up to 1500 watts, and right now the coach is at 46 degrees Fahrenheit. And what I'm going to do is turn this unit on and see what type of temperatures we can get here within an hour, we'll call it. I'll be checking every 15 minutes, so stay tuned. One of the tests that I'm going to do is going to put it on high. Even though this unit does allow for a temperature range, the buttons on top allow for H1, H2, and H3. H3 being the most amount of heat. So let's get the chill out of the coach and see what happens in 15 minutes. You can feel that there's quite a lot of heat coming from the unit, as well as there's a button on top that will allow the unit to swing back and forth to distribute the heat. But in this particular case, I'm just going to leave it sit straight. And we'll be back in 15 minutes. So here we are, 15 minutes later. We have the heater going and you can feel the heat all the way up here. And we were at 46 degrees when we started, and right now we're at 51. So it increased 5 degrees in approximately 15 minutes. One thing I like about this ceramic heater is that it comes with a remote control. So you can turn it on and off with the remote control. You can set the temperatures high and low. You can also just set it to oscillate back and forth and also vent. And there's also a timer, countdown timer, that if you have that set, it'll go off after so many hours that you have set preset. We will come back and check this unit again in about a half hour and see what the temperature is. So right now we're still at 51 degrees after a 15-minute test, and we'll come back in 30 minutes. Okay, came back a half hour later. See what the temperature's reading. We're at 55.5. So it went from 51 to 55. So 45 minutes, we went from 46 to 55. So almost 10 degrees difference. For those that are curious, the outside temperature right now is 46 degrees. The incident on my Truma unit happened on November 5th. I did all the troubleshooting requirements outlined in the manual, as well as calling Truma. And what was decided based on my conversation with Truma was that I needed to get my unit brought in to be serviced at Truma. The earliest appointment that they had available for me was November 29th, which was a Wednesday. I took it because they told me the next one would be sometime in the mid of December. 5:03 a.m. in the morning, and supervisor and I are heading to Truma today to get our Truma heater worked on because we have the code E6H, and we're bringing a friend with us. Nope, it's not going to be Freya. She can be trusted at home. It's the crazy one. The Maligator's coming. Arrow. And look at him wag his tail. He's all set to go.
Freya. I'll come in and get him because stay. Get.
Do not push the screen. Wonder who does that. Who was pushing the screen?
I don't know, but it kept coming in down. I'm thinking it was...
Hello, Frankie. Good morning, everybody. We are approximately 30 minutes away from the Truma facility to get our Truma serviced for that E6H code. It has been 20 degrees on our travels all the way from Indianapolis to Elkhart, Indiana. I have my supervisor next to me and her Maligator. We started out this morning with the coach pretty cold. Since we don't have any heat back there, we had to use the heat from the coach vehicle to heat the inside. And what I've noticed is that the heat will increase to the backside of the coach approximately 5 degrees Fahrenheit for every hour that we're on the road. So we started out at 50 degrees for roughly 2 hours, 15 minutes into the drive. We're now up to 61 degrees in the back of the coach. So if anybody's interested in those stats. But yeah, we had to get up at 5 a.m. this morning. GPS said it was going to be about a 3-hour drive up to Elkhart to get this serviced. And Truma has told us that it would take roughly, they've scheduled us in for a 4-hour window, and they said that they should have this thing fixed within that 4-hour window, guaranteed. And then we'll see from there. So I will give you an update and let you know how that goes.
The guy, he turned his head and waved at us, so I'm like, okay.
Truma.
Good thing one of us was paying attention.
I knows it. Hello, Truma.
We got the loose collar already wrote. The title in there. That one. There's real fucking. Looks like there's plenty of room in the back out.
Pretty nice facility here at Truma. You have your coffee, water, in their waiting area. They also have a computer sitting area. And they allow pets.
He likes that snow.
Yeah, we came up with snow here. Some of the other type of product that they provide, Truma coolers that are portable. And Frankie is inside the shop, going to be worked on today. Here's another waiting area. This is the inside of Truma. And here's a computer area for, I guess, if you want to work silently. So the technician came out here to tell me that there could be two things that could be causing my E6H code. One could be this motor or the board that's underneath this cover right here. He's going to check into it. One of the things he said about the motor is when they come from the factory, this blade sometimes gets too close to these solder points and it hits these solder points and causes issues. They usually will take a tool and pull this fan away so that the fan is not that close to the circuit board. But he said he will check into that as well as the board. But this is what it looks like inside the Truma unit. The technician came out to tell me that they did solve the problem on the heat on the Truma. It was the combustion motor. It is supposed to spin freely, and the motor that I had was not spinning freely. They said they've had some issues with the bearings of these units. They purchased these from another company, so they replaced the combustion motor, and now I have heat in my system. This video shows the proper rotation of the combustion motor. It does spin freely. I did ask the technician what is their number one problem that they see with a Combi unit, and they indicated that the vent in the back side here gets filled with animal hair, like dog hair. And he suggested that people just remove that cover in the back to clean out that area so that there's adequate airflow. Truma also has in the back of their parking lot 2 camping pads for those who come for service and they come out the night before. They have complete electrical hookup and water hookup depending on the season. So that's pretty nice as well.